There are many kinds of animals all over our earth. How many can you think of?
100.
Dogs, cats, grasshoppers, rabbits. Probably the animals that you've seen is what you think of. But there are animals all over that maybe you haven't even heard of yet. Some animals can run really fast. Some animals can jump really high. Some animals do a lot of climbing.
Em ra giùm anh
A
đi.
lot of time.
Cô nơi để thầy học đi con.
So these animals will look a lot different depending on where they live. What about animals that
Còn như
fly?
vậy là có quay cái cả thằng cô nữa.
Well, what do they have to fly?
Anh nói đi ra giùm mà.
They usually have a wing.
Chỗ này học con phải đi
They
chỗ
always
khác.
go out, they flap their wings, and they can fly. So animals that fly have. Can you think of some? How about a butterfly? See butterflies flying around from flower to flower. They go to different flowers. Or a dragonfly. You'll often see dragonflies in your pond. So some insects or bugs fly. But what about birds? Birds fly, right? A lot of birds fly. Have you ever seen a hummingbird? It flaps its wings so fast that you can hardly see them. This is a pretty small bird. And it flies from flower to flower, drinking the nectar. A hawk is another kind of bird. Hawks soar high in the sky looking for their food.
Đây là đại bàng nữa.
They're very cool birds. And also a bat. A bat can fly. You don't see them as much because they only come out at night. But they fly around in this funny little pattern and they look for their food. So
Nó có hút
probably
máu
wouldn't
không?
see a bat unless you're out at night. How about animals that swim? Some animals spend all of their time in the water. Now, some of these are in the ocean. If you think of the ocean, if you think of our earth, all that blue on the earth, all of that is ocean. And so that's a big area for animals to live. But then there's also ponds and lakes and streams and rivers where animals live. Animals that spend a lot of time in water have to be able to either breathe in water or hold their breath a really long time. A lot of them can swim pretty quickly through the water, so they have to have either legs or fins
Nghe
or
cô
flippers.
giảng đi xong hết
So
bài
these
rồi con hỏi
animals
một
look
lần.
different from animals that only spend their time on land.
Là
Have you ever seen a platypus? A platypus is a really cool animal that has webbed feet, and it spends time in the water and also on land. So it can hold its breath for a really long time, and it has webbed feet to help it swim quickly through the water. An otter is another animal that has webbed feet to help it swim quickly through water. And it also spends some time on land and in the water, so it has to come up to breathe. Fish and sea turtles spend a lot of time underwater. Fish actually have gills. Now this is a special structure that helps them to breathe under the water. So they don't need to come up to the surface to breathe. They can just do it while they're underwater. And sea turtles can hold their breath for a very long time under the water, swimming around, but they do have to come up to get a breath. Now some animals are very big. Can you think of any big animals? The first thing I think of is an elephant. Elephants are huge. They have those long trunks and their big bodies, right? What's another animal? The giraffe. A giraffe has a long neck so it can reach the food in the trees. It's the leaves of plants. The rhino is also huge. The elephant, the giraffe, and the rhino all live in the savannah. What about a crocodile? Crocodiles are big, right? But crocodiles aren't tall, they're more long. And they crawl around on the ground and they like the water too. They also spend time in the water. And bears are another big animal. Polar bear is the biggest bear, or the tallest bear. If it were to stand up, it'd be the tallest bear. So these are very big animals. Brown bear is often heavier than the polar bear. So all of these animals are really, really big. There are also some really, really small animals, like an ant. An ant can be super, super tiny that it's so hard to see. A worm is also very small. You don't see worms very often because they live underground in the soil, but they're usually pretty small too. A ladybug is very small, crawls in the plants and flies around. And then a hedgehog and a mouse are also pretty small animals.
Maggot
What about
Cô
animals
có
that
giảng
hop?
về maggot không?
Some animals hop to get around, like a frog or a rabbit. Rabbits can hop very fast through the grass, and frogs can hop very high and very far. Kangaroos are another animal that hops. They hop around with their little baby called a joey in their pouch. And some kangaroos can hop very high, very far, all in just one single jump. Some animals do a lot of climbing. Can you think of any? A leopard climbs. They climb trees and they often will just hang out, kind of lounge on a tree branch, waiting for something to happen. So they can climb, they have those sharp claws. A squirrel climbs, it climbs trees and it makes a nest up in the tree and that's where it lives. A black bear is another animal that climbs. They can climb up these tall, skinny trees. They have their forelegs with really long claws and this helps them in shooting up the tree. Baboons also climb trees and they have arms and legs. This helps them swing from the branches. So all of these animals are very different. Some have wings so that they can fly. Some have gills or fins or flippers so they can spend a lot of time in the water. Some have sharp claws so they can climb trees. Some are very big and some are very small. But all of these animals are unique in their own way and they're very cool to watch and observe. Let's do a problem together now, like one that you're going to do. Which animal has wings to fly? All right, look at these two pictures. Which one has wings? The mouse or the butterfly? That's right, it's the butterfly. So we would click on the butterfly. Wonderful job. There are so many animals all over Earth just waiting for you to discover.
Ủa không nghe câu hỏi sao biết đâu trả lời nhỉ? Con bấm lại cái chỗ cái loa đó thử giùm mẹ. Cái loa ở trong cái bài Acelot á.